Hi guys, it is Onyx once again. I am a lifestyle entrepreneur. I am a women's empowerment coach, and I am here to help you be inspired, be empowered, and reach those goals. This is video one of the Live Your Best Life Now workbook and video series. So go ahead and grab your workbook, or if you're using the digital copy, grab your computer and let's get started. So, we start with the wheel of life, guys. So the first thing that you need to do is complete the wheel of life. And I'm going to show you by doing a blank document, okay? So review the 8 wheel categories. Think briefly what a satisfying life might look like in each area and what this looks like to you, guys. I don't want you to think about the image of what you think a satisfying life is. No, what it means to you, because it's different for everybody, okay? So think about it. Next, draw a line across each segment that represents your satisfaction score in each area. Imagine the center of the wheel is 0 and the outer edge is 10, okay? So 0 and 10. And choose a value between. And choose a value in between. So 1 would be very dissatisfied and 10 would be fully satisfied. Now draw a line and write the score along it. And use the first number score that pops into your head, okay? Not the number you think it should be. What automatically, when you think about family and friends, what pops into your head, okay? Think about that. You're kind of going to look at the areas in your life where you feel satisfied and the areas where you don't, okay? And now it's time to reflect. Fill in your responses in the circle above and under the question. Take your time, guys. If you need another piece of paper, go ahead and grab it if you feel like you're going to need some more space to write down your answers. But let's go through these questions. How do you feel about your life as you look at your wheel? How do you feel about it? Are you genuinely happy? Are you generally happy? Are you feeling like you would, are you seeing the areas of your life where you really need improvement? How do you feel about looking at it overall? And then next, were there any surprises? Like, were there any areas that you looked at like, oh, I didn't realize that, in the significant other column that, I only had a 4. I didn't, I was surprised at myself, If there were no surprises, that's fine. But if there were, it's worth taking a look at. How do you currently spend time in these areas? How would you like to spend time in these areas? So how do you currently spend time in these areas, each of these areas? And how would you like to spend time in these areas? For instance, if I was looking at friends and family. When I first did this, it was a 2. Now it's about a 6. So I would look at that. Why is my friends and family area a 2? And where would I like it to be? I would like it to be a 10. I would like it to be a 10. But it's only a 2. So, and then in career, it's an 8. So it's off balance. So if I have an 8, a level of satisfaction of an 8 in career and a 2 in family, what do I want that to look like? I would like it to be a little bit more even. What would make that score a 10? So what would make my score of 2 in family and friends a 10? Think about it. For me, it would mean conversation with those that I love. It would mean Attend to me would mean a once a month big family dinner or function, and going out with friends maybe once a month, and then also having time with my kids, exclusive time, with just my immediate family. Making sure that I have those times. And for me, it would look like, every week it would be something. So maybe the first week of the month, I'm with my extended family, my brothers, my sisters, my mom, my dad, and maybe we're doing a big family dinner. And week 2, maybe I'm out with the girls, and we're going to the club. Not really, because I don't club, but you know what I mean. We're going out. Maybe we're doing karaoke. And week 3 is I am going on a one-on-one mommy date with my daughter. And week 4, I'm going on a one-on-one mommy date with my son. And to me, that would be a 10. And in between all of that, having phone conversations and text conversations and just really staying connected. So what does it look like to you? Think about it, okay? And we'll figure out how to get close to that. What help or support may you need from others to reach your goal? So for me, if we're talking about family, right, I would need help with, scheduling. I would need help with maybe some calls being made to me. If I don't reaching out to me. How may you need help to achieve your goal? If you're talking about maybe money and you want to increase your level in the money department, what's some help you may need? You may need classes on budgeting. You may need classes on investing. You may need to get another job. How do you need help to reach your goal? And how can you make space for these changes? Like, for instance, let's go back to me and my family goals. Well, I would need to make space for these changes. I would need to adjust the amount of time I spend working. I would need to adjust the amount of time I spend on set or in my office or producing plays or traveling, because I was traveling so much. At least once a month, sometimes 2 or 3 times a month. And so how do I make space to spend time with family? I have to adjust in other areas. But it's important to me, so I did. What changes should you make first? And what changes do you want to make first, okay? So you may want to say, yes, I'm going to plan a family dinner right now. That's going to be my change, right? But that may not be the change that you should make first. Maybe the change you should make first is having conversation with your family. Is maybe you don't plan the big dinner, right? Because it's you only want to do things that you can maintain. So you don't want to this month, you don't want to say, every month, guys, we're going to have a family dinner, and it happens once. No. Okay? We're not truly achieving balance in our life by doing that. But it can start by opening the dialogue with your siblings and saying, hey guys, I really feel like we're a little disconnected, and I would love us to feel more connected. So how can we do this? Okay, we can have a big family dinner once a month. Maybe we can switch houses. This month we have it at my house. Next month we have it at your house. And you start the dialogue. That would be the first thing to do, rather than to plan this dinner and just invite everybody to come. What is one key action you could do that would begin to bring everything in balance? For me, that action was writing everything down. Writing everything down. What is the action for you that could begin to bring everything in balance, okay? And then any final thoughts? Do you have any final thoughts? Thinking about your wheel of life. And this is where I would just write. When I did this, I really saw that I verbally said I wanted a healthy, happy marriage. But I was spending all of my time in career, and I was spending all of my time in the pursuit of money. I was spending all of my time in other areas that there's no way I could have the relationship that I wanted, which is partially why I failed. Not completely, but I'm going to take accountability for my part. So, that's what I saw. I saw that I was crying over, broken marriage. And the reality is that I didn't do my part, because when I saw the wheel of life, I had so much focus in other areas. So now this has a little bit to do with my background in film and action. Next step, and action. Identify one action for each one of the areas that will propel you towards reaching your desired level of satisfaction in each area. Your action step does not need to be complex, guys. We're talking about an action step. We're not looking at the whole goal. We're talking about an action step. It doesn't need to be complex. Remember, this is about balance. It's about balance, and small steps in each one of these areas will help you to achieve balance, and you will be on the road to living your best life now. Now remember, living your best life is not about perfection. It's not about having everything that you desire right now. It's about taking the steps to begin to live happy and whole. Okay? I'm living my best life because I'm really clear about what I want and what I need to do to get there. Doesn't mean I have everything that I want. And so in this section, we're talking about balance. So identify, you should have 8 action steps. Go through each one and pick one action step. And remember, we're talking about little steps, okay? We're not talking about, I'm gonna make $1 million. No, we're talking about my action step. If I want to go into a different career, my action step may be to research schools that offer the degree that I need to go into the career that I want. That's an action step. My action step is to research. It doesn't mean my action step is to submit my resume and to go on interviews, because if I'm not ready for that, then it's not time for that. Let's look at what we can do now, our small action steps, because it's all about a plan. If you don't have a plan, now it doesn't mean that your plan can't change, and I'm all about just doing it. There's been so many times where I've just jumped and it has been successful, but you need to know what you're jumping for. You need to know what it is that you want and what it's going to take. So complete all 8. You should have one, by the time you finish this section, you should have one action step for each one of the sections of the Wheel of Life. Okay? Now, for the next 4 weeks, okay? Each week, I want you to select 2 items off of your action list. Execute them. For the next 4 weeks, okay? Once a week, select 2. And I want you to execute them. All right, so maybe next week I'm going to execute an action step from my health section, and I'm going to do one from my personal growth. Okay, so maybe my health action step is to get a membership at the gym, or it's to go check out the local YMCA. And my action step for personal growth is to go and get that self-help book that I've been thinking about getting from Barnes & Nobles. Or maybe it is to schedule my first counseling session, or to find a life coach. Okay? It doesn't mean I booked the life coach, but I'm finding the life coach that I want to have, or even figuring out that I want to have a life coach. But whatever that action step is that you put down, that's what you need to do. Okay? So remember, your action steps need to become habit. We have to get in the habit of executing our steps, because each little step gets us closer and closer to finding balance, okay? Consistency and discipline are necessary for change to happen. If we want to find balance, if we want our wheel of life to begin to look a little bit more balanced, we must have discipline and consistency and constantly taking our action steps towards our goal, okay? So an example of an action step is to better my relationship with family, I will call my mother once a week just to say hello. Simple action step, guys. And then I have a block down here. It's been 4 weeks. What has changed? And just reflect. What has changed? I have gotten closer with my mom. I have identified that the school I want to go to is in Tennessee. And, now I'm thinking about moving. Whatever your action step led you to whatever your action step led you to, whether it's a new thought, a new idea, or it's movement propelling you towards your goal, write it down here. What has changed? Because I promise you, if you take these steps based off of what you did on the wheel of life, you will see a change. And even though it might not be a big drastic change, small changes, consistent small changes lead to bigger changes. So that's it for our first video in our first section in our Live Your Best Life Now workbook and video series. Guys, I hope that this is beneficial to you. If it is, please leave me a comment. Please share your experience. I would love to hear from you. Once again, guys, thank you so much, and I will see you at our next video. Bye-bye.